Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. It's been a while. Um, I know it has. Obviously, we wrapped up things with SADL Season 2. That was a huge success. Shout out to all my coaches, obviously. I say it just about every time. Can't thank you guys enough for making that happen. It was a great time. Turned out to be a big success. Had some new challenges, but I think we adapted to them, and overall, it turned out good. But and it's been a while because of that video wrapped up that season and the holidays came, and so I've just been wrapped up with that kind of stuff and just busy all around. But the title of the video is not a lie at all. You can probably see on the screen right now. Uh, we have joined another draft league. It's interesting. This is actually a draft league that is partially, I believe, partially owned by Brady, who is obviously, one of our SADL members. Has been, was a sub for, season one, came back for season two. Oof, sorry, sneeze right there. Came back for season two, had a great season two. He has his own draft league. I knew he was running it at the same time. Their first season was running at the same time as season two of the SADL. They had a short turnaround for their season two, went ahead and got that out. And I decided to just join because I was kind of itching. I wanted, it had been a few weeks. Things had quieted down. My schedule was looking a lot cleaner. I was like, hey, why not? Like, let's try it out. It's different. Obviously, it's the first ever draft league I've been in that is not my own draft league, so that's interesting. It's my first draft league that I'm participating in as simply just a coach, right? Just a member, basically. Um, it is a point based draft league. Obviously, we've been running tier based, and it is an Uber's draft league, so very very different. Um, so it's a new experience. I kind of want to challenge myself a little bit, see what it's like. As far as some like the rules, I'm gonna just kind of briefly kind of look through them. Um, they don't have a fancy cover, like because they're lame, I guess. They don't have a cover for their draft doc. Um, but anyways, this is the draft doc. The rules, pretty simple rules. When it comes to things like ghosting, um, general toxicity, you know how that is. Nothing crazy there. Don't be an asshole and don't cheat. Drafting rules is obviously the most different here. 10 to 11 Pokemon, 145 budget. Obviously there was the draft timer there. Um, like I said, it's an Uber's draft league, so you had 46 points that were for Ubers. So there was a list of Uber Pokemon that were considered Ubers. It's everything 20 points and up, and then everything your Uber's Pokemon had to be no more than 46 points. So like if you draft like a 28-point Pokemon, you couldn't draft another Uber. Pretty interesting thing. I know a lot of leagues do that where they limit the amount of Ubers you can get. It's not just draft as many Ubers as you want. It's fact, yeah, you can have one or two Ubers and kind of draft everything else. Obviously, very high powered league nonetheless. Even a lot of your non Ubers are really, really strong. Um, there are Terra captains, pretty high tier Terra as well. They had some Pokemon that obviously got Terra banned. Why did that do that? They had some Pokemon that were Terra banned. I think everything was, it says right here, I think 18 and below um, were able to be Terra'd. There were some Terra bans regardless of that. Like I think like Ursaluna Blood Moon got Terra banned. Trying to remember like some other random stuff off the top of my head that I know got Terra banned as well. But yeah, pretty simple in that regard. Some grace. This is also like declared Terra. It's declared Terra with Terra preview, which is pretty crazy. Mandatory stab as well. We ran that. We didn't do mandatory stab, but we did declare Terra in season one. Season two was free Terra with Terra preview. I like that a lot. Actually, it's a lot of freedom. I guess the reason why though is because in such a high powered league, the more like I don't say limitations, with the more stipulations and stuff like that you have, I guess the more balance it can come across. As far as battle rules go, very simple battle rules, kind of like us. Sleep claws, moody claws, a lot of the really just kind of dumb stuff. Last respects and hidden power both banned. Geomancy was banned, which is interesting. So Xerneas, I don't want to say sucks, but I understand Xerneas is a very strong Pokemon, but I feel like I don't know, Geomancy ban, like it's so telegraphed. You have to use an item slot to pull it off. I feel like it's a really weird ban personally. Um, But either way, it did get banned. Dire Claws also banned, which is pretty interesting. A handful of moves that are kind of weirdly banned. Some items that are banned. Uh, so there are some complex bans. For the most part, it's pretty simple, straightforward. Also, no Z crystals. By the way, no Z captains, no Z crystals, no Z crystal draft, nothing like that. Scheduling rules pretty simple, straightforward. Nothing out of the box really as far as like that kind of stuff. Mainly just obviously the draft style because it is a different the Uber's league, so it has its own draftings. Also, as far as league rules go, or like the way the league is set up, it is split into two divisions, but they are both playing Uber, so it's not like we do with SADL Season 2, where we had a newcomer in the Legacy division that were playing two different metagames. They're both playing Ubers, but they each have their own draft pool, and throughout I guess, the regular season, you would say, they play each other in their own divisions. And then the playoffs, however, though, are when the two divisions will mix, basically. So it's not two different championships, it is one championship, but you will not play anybody from another division until playoffs. And it's basically designed in a way that it's not like two different sides of the bracket and then the finals are the two divisions. The divisions are it's like mixed up. Like I think it's East and West C, so like Gastrodon. I believe it's like East 1 will play like West 12. West 1 will play like East 12. Or well, it's not 12, it's top 6 make playoffs. 12 in each division, top 6 make playoffs. But you get what I'm saying. Um, that's how the playoffs are set up. So it is pretty interesting. It is possible for two people of the same division to play each other in the playoffs, or I mean, yeah, play each other in the playoffs or play each other in the championship. But either way, that's pretty cool. It's different. I'm looking forward to it. We already did our draft. Week one schedules have been announced. I do know my week one opponent. I've done a little bit of prep, not a lot. I do have to play that game by January 5th, I believe, is my like due date to finish that matchup. Schedule announced got on Christmas, which is cool. Wrapped up draft like a couple days before. So, anyways, this is also going to serve not only just as an announcement for my new league, but as a team announcement. I actually haven't even done this in the SADL. I usually just get to it, and that's usually because I'm just so busy with everything. Like we kind of move fast in the SADL. This league has been a little bit slower. The grace was longer. Um, they dropped the schedule. Like week one is technically like a week and a half, basically. We already had like a few week one matches played. So move a little bit faster and wrapped up with things like draft grades and managing free agency and stuff. Also, one thing I will say I do not like about this, um, we'll talk about it a little bit. Well, you'll see it in a little bit. But basically, the um, the grace free agency, any grace transactions done were were not processed in week two. I was trying to figure out like the best way to like say that to word that. But yeah, if you did like a transaction in grace, it didn't go into effect to week two, um, which was kind of weird. Apparently, the reasoning for it was to stop people like abusing transactions in Grace. But the thing is, there's already a limit on Grace transactions, anyways, which you might have saw in the rules. So I do feel like that's kind of weird because you're already limiting the amount of transactions people can do. Because like in the SADL, we have limitless Grace for 24 hours, and it goes into effect week one. If you wanted to drop your entire team, go for it. I mean, it's obviously some work on our end and it looks annoying. And if somebody was like actually just going overboard with it, I would just be like, all right, it's very clear. Like you're being unserious. You're maybe you're trolling. You've dropped your entire team 3 times. Like you're not allowed to do that or get out of my league, whatever. So I do feel it's really weird to both limit free agency transactions or grace transactions, um, but also like make it like try to prevent people from doing it before week one. Very odd, in my opinion. Either way, though, that's kind of what that is like. Actually, real quick, we will take a quick look at the pointless. We'll actually look real quick at the draft. Also, this did ban a lot of Ubers, which I know is not uncommon. I think like there's some like what's the major Uber league that's happening right now? I forgot what it is. It's I know Joey's in it. I haven't been paying much attention to that at all. I know that they banned like a lot of really strong Ubers, which I thought was like I understand why, but it's also like, like there's some really fun mons that weren't allowed. Like pretty much Kyogre isn't allowed at all. Primal Groudon, Mega Ray, those make sense. Some of the really strong ones like Calyrex Shadow, obviously. Um, Marshadow got banned. Can understand that, but without Z crystals, I feel like, I mean, it doesn't need a Z crystal to be good, but it's kind of like, was really good with a Z crystal. I feel like it's a little worse overall without that. Um, Mons like that got banned. Arceus, no Arceus forms allowed. Rhydon and Koraidon, both Calyrex form actually. Calyrex Ice is not allowed as well. So I was like, I almost didn't want to join the league. I was like, man, they took all the fun stuff out, like Mega Gengar, which I get it, Shadow Tag. Some other like really strong Megas aren't allowed, but obviously this is kind of what the list looks like. You see where I was talking about here. You have 28 points to the max. Basically, if you drafted a 20, yeah, if you drafted anything up here, you could not draft. Here's the thing: Xerneas is 28 with no Geomancy. I think it's crazy. But anything, if you drafted anything this way, you were not allowed to basically draft another. Draft it this way. Drafted 26, you could draft a 20. Draft 25, you could draft like a 21, et cetera, et cetera. You know how it goes. And then yeah, 20 was the cutoff. Boom. Then everything this way is considered non-Uber. 1918s are all Terra banned. And then you see 8 to 17, some mods that are Terra, and you have some mods that were Terra banned over here. King Gambit got Terra banned. Curum got Terra banned. Sneasler Terra banned, which means it's already been nerfed with no Dire Claw. But like Cortana got Terra banned. Some of these I agree with, some of these not. I don't 100% agree with. Like Gothitelle Terra banned, like, yeah, I guess so. Once again, super annoying. Dragonite Terra banned goes crazy. Honestly, it's kind of nuts. I don't feel like that mon is strong enough to get Terra banned. But yeah. Um, so Como Terra banned, guess they feared the boom burst. Some of these make sense, some of these don't. Dugtrio Terra banned, like, whatever. Most of these mons down here though are terrible. Well, hey, that's a double entendre right there. But yeah, that's the point list. That's the rules, basic explanation of everything that's happening. We're gonna go into my team. However, your PDF. I don't even think I've said the league's name yet. The PDF. That's what it is. Pokemon Draft Frontier, I believe. I didn't even say like the name of the league. I kind of feel shitty. But yeah, PDF. Obviously, you'll see it like in all my videos. But we have a little prep doc here to show you our team that we draft. This is not in draft order. This is actually in point order. Um, but yeah, we have Orion the Mega Lucario. By the way, the team theme this year, last year, or not year, but last season for SADL season 2, we were just Latin names and then tarot cards for season 1. This season we are constellations, not zodiacs, constellations. Remember that. Orion the Mega Lucario, Scorpius the Gliscor, which is one of our Terra captains, Terra Flying, Normal, and Dragon. Pretty cool right there. Give us some reliable flying stab when we want to use it. Terra Normal Facade. Terra Dragon used defensively instead of Terra Water because we already have 2 water types on this team. Didn't want the redundant typing. Links are Meowscar Rada being our speed control. You also see their cost on the side, by the way. That is their accurate cost. These are the Terra cost as well. Toxapex, Aquarius are Toxapex, big defensive, mon, obviously. Then we have Perseus, our Ferrothorn, another defensive anchor. Vulpicula, our Alola Ninetales, pretty interesting mon that got drafted here. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. I think I can make it work. Cetus are Terra Skeletors with Fire, Ghost, both stabs, and Fairy. Going to be a big defensive wall for us. Andromeda are Starmie, bringing some hazard control and more speed to the team. Draco are Tyrantrum. Interesting mod. I want to see what it can do behind screens. And then we got a nice little 1-pointer. Very, very valuable, by the way. I think Spite Ops should at least be like 2 or 3 points, maybe even 4, depending on like how your grading goes. But easy snag for a 1-point Spite Ops, I'll take it. Lyra or Spite Ops. Fun webs can be pretty cool. I think Spite Ops is a decent little draft Pokemon, a little underrated. Has a lot of different things it can do. Very good move pool. But that is our team. We did draft, so the reason why I was complaining a little bit, because I did have a Grace transaction, I actually drafted Torterra moving into the season. Moving in because I did not know Ferrothorn was available. I wanted a grass type, bulky grass type with hazards. And I was looking and was looking and was like, okay, Torterra fits that, and like it could be fun to like run Shell Smash, even though without Terra it's a little worse. Then I went ahead and drafted Ninetales to kind of have some synergy with that, and then realized that Ferrothorn was still available. So I was like, oh, cool, I'm gonna draft Ferrothorn and then just drop Torterra later. There were actually some really fun Pokemon in the 7 point category. There were some Ice types, Sea Titan, like some Slush Rushmon, Sea Titan, Arctozolt were both 7 points. Those would have been cool to have some synergy with, as well as some other decent setup mons. I decided to go with Tyrantrum mainly because we had a pretty big fire weakness on this team, so I wanted to shore that up a little bit. Grab a mon that does not care about fire types at all. Literally resist it times four. But something that works with screens, can run setup sets behind screens, but also can be good without screens. Can run some cool sets like Scarf Band, Suicide Rocks, or even just Dragon Dance without screens. If it just does really well into a matchup, be that anti Firemon basically. So I'm excited to see what this team will do. It's a very bulky team. I do like my bulkier Mons. Actually, I'll go right over here to the matchup tab. There we go. This tab's a little bit better. I just wanted to show off the nicknames. This is why I had us on the teams tab. This tab's a little bit better. It actually displays the little Terra icons, which is cool, as well as the stats. As you can see, we have a decent speed tier. Meowscarada rounding that out. We're actually pretty well blended speed tier. There's a bit of a gap. I think Tyrantrum being on here at 71, and then up to Gliscor. But like it's it's Uber's dog. They have so many ridiculously fast Pokemon. But I think we're doing pretty solid overall in that regard. I think our team will perform well. Um, so yeah. Um, was it? I guess like a little type chart. I know that's this. Oh, this a little type chart too. That doesn't really matter. Okay, what is this for? Okay, that's like the fluid type chart. All right. But yeah, this is our team laid out with all of our stats. You can kind of see who's what, where our speed control is, our defensive cores. I'll say we're light on the special defense. I do feel like we could be a little bit better, especially we have some heavy physically defensive monsters. I mean, Gliscor, Toxapex, Ferrothorn, Dirge, Tyrantrum, all great physical defense. Not to say our special defense is bad. Lola Ninetales has decent special bulk. Even Gliscor has always been serviceable with a special bulk. Even 75, 75, that's not great, but the thing just doesn't ever fucking die. Um, Either way. But yeah, that's our team moving forward after week 2 when Torterra gets dropped for Tyrantrum. Yeah, these our speed tiers are nice. I like these. These look nice. Um, I guess we'll take a little quick look. I mean, we don't have anything else going on at our moves. As you see, we got a lot of hazards, a lot of ways to set spikes, a lot of ways to set toxic spikes, a lot of ways to set stealth rocks. Removal is not the greatest, having to basically rely on both. I mean, it's not like it's going to be pushed to have these mods. I mean, Gliscor, problem with Gliscor is kind of what do you want to run? Having such a having such a hazard heavy team, a team that's going to want to use hazards and having to rely on a defogger in some situations, just not going to work out. Um, but we have recover, we have some heal bell, which is cool. No wish passers, um, lots of momentum, plenty of U-turn users, some baton pass users, some flip turn going on, even some teleport. Good knockoff, thunder wave, will o wisp, obviously. Plenty of toxic to go around as well. Um, got some priority. Priority isn't like the overall greatest. You're basically relying heavily on Lucario and Sucker Punch for most of our priority. We do have some cheeky Vacuum Wave and even Upper Hand. Some Taunt, some Encore. Not the greatest Encores. We do have Haze, which is nice. We do also have an Unaware Mon. We do have screens. Obviously, that's going to be really cool. I think we get to do some goofy stuff with screens. Decent, speed control. Obviously, sticky webs. Even some bulldoze users. We even have Tailwind and Trick Room, which my team does not function very well under Trick Room. But yeah, pretty cool. I think our team overall is pretty well balanced. It's very bulky. Like I said, removal is probably our biggest thing. We wind up not drafting a second Uber We'll talk a little bit about this, I guess, since we have, it's not going to be a very long recording. Let me go back to this tab. I like this tab better. The original plan, so like the perfect draft is Megalucario, Dragapult, um, a ground flying type, and it was a toss up between either Lando form, which we would have been able to get. It was a 20 pointer, so we could have grabbed that. Um, or Terra Landotherian or Terra Gliscor and Primarina, and then Terra Dirge, and then like something like a Mungus. That was kind of like the plan, right? It was really fast offense, um, flexible mons, great defense. Obviously, I love Primarina. I thought it was a really cool like 6, 7 round plan. Then we got Dragapult and Primarina sniped in the same round. And I was kind of like, okay, well, I had actually all the options available for my ground flying type. I decided to go with Gliscor just because of flexibility. And that's not saying Landorus isn't flexible at all. Landorus is very flexible. Landorus Therian obviously is the GOAT of flexibility. But Gliscor is really good. It's Nat deck, so it's even better. It has access to Roost, and defog, so it can be even more flexible. Has spikes, has rocks, has U-turn, has knockoff. It's a great knockoff absorber. Once it loses its, once it gets toxic, it can, easily just switch in and absorb knockoffs without having to worry about that. So I decided to go Gliscor. It's a fun mon. It's good with Terra. Um, and then, obviously, like Meow needed some speed. Pex was a great pickup for a secondary water. Grounded poison type does really well with Gliscor. Ferrothorn, obviously, like I said, I wanted a bulky grass type. Meowscarada and Ferrothorn, I feel like two grass types on your team, then they do share weaknesses actually with, they're both weak to fighting and fire. Obviously, Ferrothorn's a little bit better, more better balanced, obviously, with that steel type. Little Ninetales, a little bit of extra speed, but also gives us Ice Stab, gives us a fairy type that isn't Terra Fairy Dirge. Starmie mainly there for hazards removal, but it can be a fun mon. I like Starmie a lot, so I do like this team. I think it's a cool team. I want to see what it does this season. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, our week 1 match will be played sometime this week. Do some more prep for it. You guys will see that. As far as other stuff I'm gonna do with this league, I don't know if I'll do I won't be doing watch togethers, obviously. I don't know if I'll do like game reviews. It's a 24 person league, so it's around the same amount of games as last season. But I don't know if you guys are watching this and you're like, yeah, we want to see the other games in the league. We want to see the other players. I mean, I'm probably gonna wind up watching the replays anyways because I want to scope out my competition. But let me know like if that's something you guys want to see. The other games we could talk about it. Um, don't really know what else we'll do. I do have want to do some like fun off season things in the SADL, a free for all tournament. That would be really cool. Um, some other fun stuff. We might even do like just some random stuff, some other fun different things here and there that I've been thinking of. I just haven't gotten around to it because my schedule has just slowed down. It's right after the holidays. All the Christmas stuff is done. Work is pretty stable right now, so it looks nice. It's a nice time of the year. Don't have to worry about a whole lot. So we'll see some other I have to brainstorm some other content, I guess, is what we're going to do. As far as SADL Season 3 goes, obviously being a part of this league will take up some time. Uh, Best estimates would probably be the end of January, beginning of February. Um, we could start to see some stuff come up. It does, like, the league being delayed. Not, I say this league being delayed, but like January, like first week in January being your first game. It's a 9 week season plus potential playoffs. Um, I'll say could get messy, but it could drag out well into March. So we'll see how that goes. Depending on how the season's going, depending on how everything's going, and it'll always be a few weeks, even like with prep. Prep doesn't take a lot. Um, like it isn't how do I describe this? It doesn't take a long time. It can take a long time, but it's not a lot going into it. Just a matter of getting people together, sitting down, talking about it, putting things together. You can space it out a few weeks. So, maybe towards the end of January, beginning of February, we'll start to look into actually just talking about season 3. I have some big plans. Obviously, I had all the information collected from the end of season surveys. They were very, very helpful. Gave me kind of a little, peek into the brain. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're in a new draft league. I'll be putting out my matches and any other content I decide to do will obviously be put out there. If you have any suggestions, just let me know in the comments. Like what's your something you want to see from the league. Hey, yeah, I want to see all the weekly breakdowns, stuff like that. Cool, same thing with the SADL. Obviously, a big reason I do with the SADL is number one, it's my league, so it's easy. I have access to all that stuff right there. But I also do it because I like to help people learn. I like to teach people. If I can watch your match and give you a tip to make you better, then good. I want to do that. Doing this, obviously, this is more of like a viewer content thing than it is like a league thing, I guess. But well, let me know what you guys think about that kind of stuff. Um, but until then, till my week 1 video gets out, I'll see you guys then. Appreciate it.